Welcome, my friends. Such a pleasure to share with you this recipe today, Green Dream Smoothie. As I give you some context, I'm going to go ahead and start slicing up this lemon that I have here. I usually use lime in it. That's, I would say, if I could convey to you one secret of really gourmet smoothie making, put a little bit of lime in there. And if it's organic, and if you don't have a lime, the market didn't have any fresh ones, so I just got a lemon, which works almost as well as far as taste and everything. If it's organic, I will use the skin and just slice it up into chunks or whatever. But if it's not organic, I will take the skin off, like I'm doing now, doing my best to just get the skin and not the white part, because there's a ton of phytochemicals and nutrients in this white. So I got it all. I didn't, go underneath all the way down to the meat. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to cut this into quarters. It's just incredible. I mean, to the degree where like every smoothie I make has lime or lemon in it, and it's like so gourmet, it'll really just speak for itself. Okay, so that was one thing most people haven't heard of. Wanted to start with that. You can see there's more ingredients here than I've ever had on the counter so far with my media, because I put more things in my smoothie than anything else. And in the raw lifestyle, it is really important to get, I would really just say in the human lifestyle, it's important to get at least one meal of your day to be a blended smoothie type of food. I do the green soup in the morning, the Morningstar miso, but then this is usually the last meal that I have of the day. Not right before bed, of course, it would give me too much energy, but an hour or two before bed, because it's loaded with protein and everything else. Actually, there's even an ingredient that I forgot. Let me grab that. Hemp seeds, I put those in there for protein. Whatever, I'll just get into it. One of the things I do is I like to use Thai young coconuts. And one thing most people don't know about these, the reason they're white is because they put formaldehyde on them. And you don't want to take that into your system. And people open these in different ways, because they're scared to do it, like how they do it in Thailand, where they just use a machete. And that's understandable. I used to just stand here and do this, but after a few things falling off the counter and just like it's so noisy, what I started doing, I actually learned from a guy who's really into the art of Japanese sword. You let the weight of the tool do the work. I'm not going to be like doing this, okay? Part of this, I wanted to show you this. I would have done this already had it done. But I wanted to show you how I do this and how easy and safe that it can be, okay? So I'm holding this. Oh, by the way, I mentioned with the formaldehyde, I rinsed this really, really good. Put it under the sink, under hot water, just left it there, just running for like 30 seconds. Get the formaldehyde off there, okay? So instead of like going way over here and scaring everybody that's watching with this thing, I'm just going to barely tap it. But what I'm going to do is what they do in Iado, the art of drawing in Japanese swordsmanship, is, and probably others too, the real high-level sword practices, they just extend their energy through the tool and basically just feel the weight of it. Just feel, what does the weight of this in your hand feel like? That's what's going to do the work, and not my muscle. Because if you use your muscle, it's going to shake and not be as precise or as safe, okay? So I'm just feeling the weight. I'm in a horse stance. I do yoga all the time. I'm just, drop into your breath, feel your energy and your center of gravity, extend through your arm and into this, and I'm just going to let the weight of it, I'm just going to come right up to about here. See? Totally safe. Boom. 4 or 5 hits. Done. And I usually do this in the sink because it can splatter a little bit. See how I just use the blade of that? And that's actually been the only time where I've cut myself doing this, or I'm like doing this too much, be careful. Maybe turn the blade away from you, or if you're really paranoid, use a spoon. And I recommend, parent supervision if you're under 18, whatever, be mindful. But overall, that's a pretty safe way to open your coconut, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pour this in there. I am going to do it over the sink, this part. Okay? So I've got my coconut water, and I've got my coconut meat. So I'm going to go ahead and scoop this out. Now, a lot of people in the raw world, just as I'm doing this, first of all, if you don't have a fresh Thai young coconut like this, what I might do, and I sometimes do, is supplement canned coconut water, even though it's not 100% raw, but there are some companies that I like, CO2, Cadia. It's decent, okay? They're decent. Nothing's good as fresh like this, but they're decent. And then I'll just substitute a coconut butter like this. It's really nice from Artesiana, this coconut butter. But it's still not the same as fresh. So anyway, just as an option, you can use those. But these are really nice if you got the Thai coconuts. So really glad I washed that off. Otherwise I'd have formaldehyde in my smoothie. Okay, so that's all scooped out. Now, a lot of raw people, the other sweet thing I'm going to put in here is a frozen banana. Okay, now this is what was going to bring me to what I was just going to say. A lot of raw people don't do any sugar because they got into raw and they had way too much sugar, their candida went crazy. That's about 2/3 of a banana frozen. And I would probably only do the frozen bananas in the warmer months, because bananas overall kind of have a yin tendency. When they get super ripe, they actually turn a little bit yang because there's so much sugar, but in general, kind of a yin quality. Put them in the freezer, even more of that, okay? And coconut's yin as well. So I probably wouldn't do the frozen bananas in the winter time, especially if you're in a cold place. But if you're in the desert like I am, or whatever, it's the summertime, frozen bananas are nice. And as well, another nice thing, cold coconut, cold banana, when they blend, they'll stay cold, okay? So I've got my coconut water base, coconut meat, my frozen banana, okay? Now I'm going to put in all these different things. I'm going to put in ginger, okay? Organic, it's chopped, not super fine, but pretty fine. This is one of the superfoods of the gods as far as I'm concerned. I was raw vegan, or actually say when I first went regular vegan, I cut out all bee products. No honey, no pollen, no royal jelly. That's my only borderline gray area with regard to the vegan, is I do have pollen, honey, and royal jelly, because they're some of the highest energy foods known to man. Pollen, for example, is the most assimilatable form of protein literally known to man. I mean, it is like superfoods of the gods. They found pollen in old, caveman tombs and stuff, 100,000 years, type of thing ago. Still viable, okay? This is so loaded, and even from the standpoint of veganism, this is still a plant product. It's just harvested by bees. So I trust the bees just as much, if not more, than humans to handle my food. So pollen, incredible. Just eat pollen, And I shouldn't go that far. I should say I've eaten pollen as a vegan and as a raw vegan, and in line too with the reason why I have so much hemp seeds. It's amazing protein. I mean, you can look up all these superfoods. I'm putting a couple tablespoons of this in there, but this is how I've not had to, break the vegan path. Because if you don't do enough protein on this path, you will start having dreams about meat and stuff, and probably want to eat eggs or whatever else. While I'm on the subject of protein, this is a really famous, probably the most famous protein in the raw world. It's a brown rice protein. I'll do a scoop of this, not quite a full scoop. I usually have the ingredients right by the blender so they don't fall out all over the place, but I wanted to spread them out over the counter so you can see what I have. Spirulina, another mega, food in the raw scene. And just in general, man, I mean, I don't like titles. You don't have to be raw or vegan even, or even vegetarian to make this smoothie. I mean, everyone likes a good smoothie. And this, to me, is like the ultimate smoothie, especially when you add the lime in there. Now, this is maca, okay? Now, if I'm doing this smoothie closer to bed like I normally do, I don't put maca in there. But because this is the middle of the day, and I'm going to be working and whatnot, I will put maca in there. By the same token, cacao, okay, raw cacao. Same thing, I wouldn't eat it before bed, but since I'm not about to go to bed, I will put a little bit of cacao in there, which if you are raw, or if you're into cacao and maca, you probably know this, cacao and maca, and just a little bit. There's some bad, press about cacao too, and some of it, I gotta say, I've experienced. Like if you have too much of it, I feel pressure and too much heat in the heart, so I don't overdo the cacao. But especially when I mix it with some of the other yin stuff, coconut and whatnot, I find that my body can handle it. And that was a tiny, tiny amount. That was like, like probably a bean worth of crushed cacao nibs, okay? Cacao and maca are synergistic. They help each other and their benefits. Another thing that I just started adding to my smoothie a few months ago is a little bit of black pepper, because it came back into my awareness full spectrum how incredibly helpful it is with all digestion. It helps with the digestion and assimilation of all food and nutrients up to 2,000%, okay? And I'm spending so much money, and not even that, but just I want to get, Taoist Master Mantak Chia, my Taoist instructor, one of the primary, he founded Healing Tao, so he's the main lineage holder. He makes the famous joke, you spend all this money on fancy food, it goes right into the toilet if your assimilation, and digestion isn't strong. Very, very true. But if you add black pepper to your stuff, ginger and cinnamon, okay, very, very helpful in digestion. I add a lot of cinnamon. The other reason I do this, and this is what I was kind of getting at with some of the raw food people that, and just people in general that don't like to have any sugar at all, like zero, no fruit, nothing, zero sugar in their diet because they're, candida or whatever. They wouldn't have coconut, they wouldn't have bananas, they wouldn't have any fruit. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have these people who have like 30 bananas a day. When I first went raw, I tried that stuff, man. I got sick. It's just too sweet. Can't do it. There's some research. Some people don't even touch bananas. Everyone has different views on everything. Do what's best for you. But I found one frozen banana and coconut. It's not overkill. And cinnamon, what I wanted to mention about that, this is one of its kind of medicinal properties. It helps with the uptake of sugar in your body to where it won't give you that kind of like rush, and it's user-friendly, so to speak. Okay, with the cinnamon. So not only does it taste incredible, it's very, very good with the effect that it has regarding sugar uptake. Another thing I do, and most people don't know this company, NCP, Natural Choice Products. I should be getting paid for this, but to me it's more about just what works for me, what I've learned in years and years of being raw, and what might help you stay on the path. Because if you do it right, there's just no two ways about it. It's the king, that I've experienced. I'm just speaking from experience. I've tried all this and that, different kinds of health things, and raw vegan is what the research would suggest. It's all about enzymes. Okay, once your enzymes are gone, they're finite. You're out. Your body can't hang anymore. So enzymes, and that's why I'm raw. This is called Nutritional Essentials. They've got regular chocolate, vanilla. I don't do the chocolate because I don't really know where they source their chocolate, and I'm pretty specific about what I eat, as you can probably tell. But I do really like their vanilla and their plain. What this is it's got a little bit of probiotics in there, but more than that, primarily why I eat this, as the name Nutritional Essentials implies, right here it says, with 22 amino acids and essential fatty acids. So this gives you all of the amino acids. And I generally just get the vanilla. These are like 25 or 30 bucks each. And I just do a scoop in each smoothie. And it tastes amazing. You put this just in water, and it just tastes so good. My body was just so happy when I got this. And this is one of the mega secrets. Lou Corona, who's one of my idols coming up in the raw world, is really into this. As far as I know, I won't speak for him. As far as I know, he's into this one, and I know he's into this company. Their enzymes are really good too. I do their regular digestive enzymes and their Vitalase kick butt enzymes, totally. But this one I use every day. The other thing that I add to my smoothies to give it a real gourmet feel is miso. And you might say, okay, I've never heard of that. That sounds kind of weird. And another quick note, if I am doing this before bed, I don't have salt close to bed. Okay, I don't do my salt that late. But again, daytime, no problem. A pinch of salt, or if you really want to gourmet out your smoothie, miso is just amazing. It'll give it that kind of rich, subtle, something you can't quite put your finger on, something that tastes amazing. Another thing that I put that I've really gotten back into in recent times in a major way is flax oil. This is an Udo's 369 blend, 2 parts 3 omega-3 fatty acids and 1 part 6, which I can't speak highly enough about this. I'm very active. and this gives me that power to just burn, man. And it's incredible for your brain health. Flax oil is synergistic with turmeric. Okay, even though there's no turmeric in here because it would totally take over. And that's everything, with the exception of the greens. Pardon me a second. Okay, I usually have these all ready to go, but I was letting them soak in baking soda because that's my favorite way to wash vegetables. Inexpensive, effective, usually even more than the veggie washes. But then, of course, I rinse them with cool water. So these are ready to go. Spinach, okay, because a green dream smoothie wouldn't be very green. I guess it would be with the spirulina, and sometimes I just use the spirulina if I don't have fresh veggies. Sometimes I'll throw in herbs in here too, like cilantro's real good, basil's not bad. But I like the spinach. I tend to use the spinach. Sometimes kale, but that can take over. Same thing. Sometimes dandelion, but similar type of thing. Whatever green you want. But I like spinach in general. That's it, I think. I always like forget something. It's usually the lime that I go back and, oh, I forgot that. Don't forget the lime, or the lemon in this case, okay? So here's the smoothie. Let's turn it on and see how we did. Okay, usually blend this for less time than I would like a soup or something. It's pretty much just the spinach. Once that's smooth, you're good to go. And let's see how it tastes. Oh, wow. It's like the ultimate. I'm telling you, that lime or lemon, it just gives it a miso. You know, you want to have miso every day. Anytime, really, but post-Fukushima, amazing radiation guarding in your body that it can do. So that, oh, I think I forgot to put goji. Ha ha! You know, I'm actually glad this happened because every once in a while I'll actually do it this way where I blend the whole thing and then I just put a handful of goji. Sometimes I do this with the chocolate too, just at the end, and then I just give it like a quick whip, and then they're kind of chunky, kind of like you would get like some kind of ice cream, you know, dessert or whatever. Then you got like that little something chewy in there that really makes it kind of culinary and gourmet. Pretty little red bits. Even better, you know. And this is a big deal. I mean, there's a lot of food here, you know. And you can add to it. You can add to this. I mean, you could add, if you're into nut butters, hemp butter. Sometimes I'll substitute for the hemp seeds. Sometimes I'll use cheese seeds instead or with that. And it goes on and on. You know, you could take things away, you could add to it, but this is kind of the overall, my ultimate green dream smoothie. And I have this pretty much every day, and I feel really good. And some days, to the point of these strictly no sugar people, looks like I left out a little coconut meat here. Some days I don't want as much sugar. You know, if I've had a lot of sugar or whatever, I'll instead of coconut water, I'll substitute water that I put. That's the only time I have cold water that I put in the fridge is when I blend. Only time. Because when I blend it, it can get hot. So I use cold water in there. And I might not use the coconut. Or banana too. You could take either the coconut or the banana out. And if you want to just go totally like sugarless, just don't use the banana and the coconut. And you can just blend all this. It will taste a little strong. This one will make it taste good. The Nutritional Essentials is a real nice way to get sweet without sweet. I think they put stevia in here to make it, you know, not natural vanilla. You can check it out. But the people that I know that are off sweet still don't have a problem with this. So anyway, there's a nice smoothie recipe for you, my friends. I offer you this with humility and with love in my heart. Like the green chakra, my green dream smoothie. And give it a try and see how you feel. I hope you enjoy it. Practice well and be well.